Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sports Central. As always, I am your host, Andrew Mackey. And before we get to the sports action this week, I have to announce that this is the Sports Central finale, at least featuring Andrew Mackey. I am taking a job in Greenwood, South Carolina, and this is my last day here with the Standard. So right off the bat, I'd like to thank everybody for all you've done for me and the Standard since I've been here. I really appreciate all you guys tuning in, reading articles, buying Standard, and just welcoming me to the community. And I'm forever grateful. But we'll get right to the sports action now. We'll start off this week with the Castle Knights basketball team. They played the Central Bears last night at Central, and Castle picked up a 72-60 victory. The Knights jumped out to a big lead. They were up 33-11 at one point in the first half. Central had a late push throughout the last part of the second quarter and into the second half, but Castle was able to hold on to post the 72-60 win. Kyle Aton led the Knights with 21 points, and Blake Simmons turned in a double-double. He had 18 points and 14 rebounds. It was a good bounce back for the Knights after their crushing 66-64 loss to Harrison on Friday. Castle led by 10 points in the fourth quarter, 55-45, and Ernie Duncan got hot for Harrison. They got the benefit of some foul calls, and the Warriors were able to erase that 10-point deficit and steal away the 66-64 win. So it was a good job by Castle to bounce back last night and beat a pretty tough Central Bears basketball team. The Knights have another SIAC game coming up on this Friday. They will host the Wrights Panthers at 7:30, and that's Castle's first home game after 3 straight road games. So it'll be good for the Knights to get back to the friendly confines. Also on Samora County basketball action, the Boonville Pioneers continue to struggle. They dropped 2 more games this weekend. They are now on a 4-game losing streak. Coach Steve Allstadt's bunch is really struggling to score points consistently. Mount Vernon beat them on Friday 61-44, and they came back on Saturday and lost to Vincennes Lincoln 58-34. As I said, they're struggling to find consistent offense. Their leading scorer, Evan Hendrickson, was cold both games this weekend. And when he's not going, Boonville's offense is really pretty stagnant. So hopefully they can figure some things out. On Friday, they travel up to Jasper, who's 2-2, and it's Boonville's last game before Christmas and before the PSC Classic on December 27th. So hopefully Boonville can knock off the Jasper Wildcats and get some good momentum going into the PSC Classic, which is always a pretty tough tournament for the Pioneers. And up in Linville, the Tecumseh Braves faced off with the third-ranked team in 1A in the Bar Reeve Vikings on Friday at Bar Reeve. The Braves hung with them pretty well for 3 quarters, but the Vikings were able to pull away late and grab a 53-36 win. That drops Tecumseh's record to 1-2 on the year, but they've played the Boonville Pioneers, or their losses are to 3A Boonville Pioneers and to the third-ranked team in 1A Bar Reeve. So 2 pretty tough opponents for the 1A Tecumseh Braves. And they have one game coming up, or they have a couple games coming up. One on Friday, which looks like a win on paper. The Braves travel to Tell City. And the Marksmen are struggling. They're 0-5 so far this year. But the Braves have another very tough game coming up on Tuesday. They travel north to face the North Davies Cougars, who are 5-0 and ranked 7th in 1A. So that's another tough game for the Braves. Some upcoming games in girls basketball. The 4-3 Lady Braves host the Tell City Marksmen at 7 o'clock on Thursday, tomorrow. As I said, Tecumseh's 4-3 and Tell City's 5-2, so that should be a pretty good matchup in Linville on Thursday. And on Saturday, the Tecumseh Lady Braves also host the Tecumseh Tournament beginning at 10 a.m. North Davies Davies, Northeast DuBois, Linton Stockton, and Tecumseh are all participating. The tournament starts at 10 a.m. North Davies faces Northeast DuBois, and Linton Stockton faces Tecumseh. They'll use both gyms at Tecumseh for the tournament. And it's a pretty solid tournament. Northeast DuBois is 4th in 1A. North Davies is 11th. And then Tecumseh, as I said, is 4-3, and Linton Stockton is down there at the bottom. Out of those 4 teams, they are 0-7 this year. And that's on Saturday, as I said, beginning at 10 a.m. The Boonville Lady Pioneers are also in action on Saturday. They travel to Bosse for a 1:30 tip. The Boonville Lady Pioneers are struggling this year. They won their first game of the year at Central and have since dropped 6 straight. So hopefully they can get back on track against the Bulldogs. And the Castle Knights have a tough game Saturday as well. They host New Albany at 12:30. Castle's 7-2, coming off a win over Harrison in their last game. So hopefully they can keep that going against New Albany, who's always a tough matchup for the Lady Knights. And that wraps up this Sports Central finale. As I said earlier, I thank you guys for tuning in each and every week. And as always, go out and buy some delicious C.A. Durr and Company products, including Durr soda and Grandpa Durr's Orange Fruit Punch Concentrate. It makes a very delicious orange fruit punch drink. So go out to your local grocers and pick up some Durr soda. Thanks a lot, guys.